What is happening? You guys just like... It's like bros doing some dance moves up in here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how that works either. But stick around, it's about to get crazy. This is my spoiler-free review of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Hi, my name is Jam and welcome to the channel. Before we continue with this video, please make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our next videos. And with that being said, let's get in with the video. Call of Duty Modern Warfare came out in 2019 as a reimagining of the original Modern Warfare franchise, which started in 2007, 2009, and 2011 with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3 respectively. This current version plays out on a different timeline, a different universe, and different conflicts and different characters. Modern Warfare 2019 introduced us to Farah, Alex, Hadir, whom you spend a good chunk of time interacting or playing as. Ghost, Gaz, and Captain Price join you in this adventure, as well as other characters from the original franchise. Being that this game is a different universe, we encounter Captain Price as a younger individual while still being on brand with his mustache. Flash forward to 2022, players are treated to a 1-week early access to the campaign ahead of the Modern Warfare 2 official release if you had the game on pre-order. Barry Sloan, Elliot Knight reprised their roles as Captain John Price and Sergeant Kyle Garrick, Samuel Rokin taking on the voice of Lieutenant Simon Ghost Riley, Jeff Leach, who used to be the voice of Ghost in Modern Warfare 2019, but due to a slew of misogynistic remarks spread across his live streams on Facebook, all of which led to him losing the part. Now, before we dig deeper into the story and gameplay, let's quickly talk about the technicals, visuals, audio, and performance. Now, seeing this is a 2020 game, we only expect the best in terms of visuals, and on this note, they definitely delivered. You travel to the fictional places of Al Mazrah, Urzikstan, and the very, very real looking Amsterdam and Chicago. One Twitter user at Core Kamezli recreated the walk in Amsterdam scene, and it's very difficult to see which one is real and which one is CGI. The detail in the character movements is also a testament to motion capture technology and the work of visual artists all around. The characters would move and speak, you'd forget it's a video game sometimes. However, I did encounter an excessive amount of lens flaring regardless of where the light is coming from. It felt like I'm playing a Call of Duty game with the Michael Bay filter on top of it. It's as if halfway into the mission I would see Optimus Prime dropping off from the sky and stepping on me. There's too much. I've also gotten a couple of enemies stuck when I killed them, some in really, really funny positions. I would also recommend turning off the depth of field setting when you play. The focal point would sometimes flip-flop between background, foreground, and everything in between, like you shot the close-ups with a cheap DSLR from Best Buy. Sound design in this game is also really well done. You hear the directionality of sound pretty well. As for the mixing though, seems like it does need some more work. The gunshots overpower everything in the game, including the voice comms of the characters, which should be louder as it's directly into the player's ear since they're wearing headsets. There's also a moment in the Chicago mission where after a gunfight, while playing as Soap lets out a very loud clear, louder than most of everything else in the scene. Performance-wise, I did encounter a handful of crashes, some graphical glitches here and there. I'm not sure if this is just by a machine, but if you encountered these two, please let me know in the comments below. But other than those crashes, the game ran pretty well on my machine, and in looking at the minimum recommended specs, it could run on most machines out there. Now, I did play the game on launch day, so I can't tell you if this has been fixed or not, but I did encounter a weird issue where each time I relaunched the game, my render resolution setting goes back to 50% and effectively runs the game at 720p on my 1080p screen. And for the streamers out there, if you're launching the game for the first time, do not launch the game on your game scene. This is because Activision decided to put a splash screen on first load that shows your Activision information, your email address, your Activision ID. So if you are streaming and if you do launch the game, you will end up having to show your screen that has your email address and your Activision ID. I don't understand why Activision did this. They should have put everything obscured and have a little button that says reveal, or not even have it show up at the beginning. There's no point to it being on first launch. To Activision's credit, they did tweet about this on day one, saying, hey, do not show your games on first launch because of blah 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 blah. But realistically, how often would gamers be on Twitter, or streamers even be on Twitter on the day that the game they're playing is launching? Now onto the story and the gameplay. The game uses cutscenes and dialogue to paint a really well, predictable story. As soon as certain characters speak, you kind of know where things are headed. If you've played the original Modern Warfare 2, well, you know where I'm headed here. As this is a spoiler-free review, I will not be talking about major plot points, and all the footage that you're seeing is from the early parts of the game. I will say though, they have built a deeper character arc for Ghost through the voice lines, and you definitely get a real feel of Ghost's character and why he is the way he is. Not like the Ghost from the old Modern Warfare 2 where all he did was be mysterious and be distant. The sad part is you only get to play Ghost once, and it's only at the very end. The Soap, Ghost, and Price gas dynamic has also gotten a lot more depth. A lot of these are found within the voice lines interaction between the characters. I did find the writing a tad too much at times, where some interactions between Soap and Ghost seem very forced, having Soap report everything that's going on to Ghost, as if a child looking for validation from their parent or something. As for Gas and Price though, it feels like their dynamic has grown from mentor to student to more of a teammate dynamic, which is expected seeing what happened in the 2019 game. As a bit of fan service to the Modern Warfare fans though, the game features some missions that could be seen as spiritual successors to very iconic missions from the original franchise, such as a 2022 reimagining of All Gillied Up and Death from Above. The game also introduced a super half-baked choose your own adventure feature where you can choose what Gaz or Soap says. I say it's half-baked because it doesn't really end in any different way besides the one way or death, so it's not exactly a fully polished feature in my opinion. On the topic of half-baked features, the game has introduced armored enemies, which are essentially bullet sponges even at the easiest difficulties. It feels like I'm playing a Division instead of a Call of Duty game. The odd part was, armor plates were only introduced to the player in the last chapter. Meanwhile, everything that you've been fighting up to this point had been armored like Iron Man, which again is kind of weird as you are a SAS operative and somehow fighting armored enemies without putting armor on yourself. It makes no sense. Oh yeah, and don't get me started on crafting. Somehow the devs thought it was a good idea. It was pushed so hard that there are 2 missions dedicated to you just crafting things and trying to avoid being killed. Again, you are playing as Soap, supposedly a badass SAS operative, yet you die in hand-to-hand combat. But if you build a shiv using a piece of metal from a broken electric fan and some tape, and you can kill them. That really does not make any sense. As in, Soap suddenly forgot how to disarm people just because he now knows how to create a pick with some tape and a piece of glass. The mission itself feels like a disconnect from the usual Call of Duty formula. What makes Call of Duty campaigns fun is the lots of different ways you can run a mission depending on the difficulty. You can run the games as realistic as you want with the harder difficulties, or just run around John Wick style and recruit difficulty. The crafting missions allow for none of that. You can only kill them one way, and other ways would lead you to death. Armor and crafting materials remind me of me playing The Division or some Square Enix game where it's more of an RPG rather than an FPS title. All that being said though, what is our conclusion? Should you play this game? To me, yeah, absolutely. It's still definitely worth the play, especially if you're a fan of the Modern Warfare franchise. The story will still be a roller coaster ride you'd want to get on. I did say that it was somewhat predictable, but that does not detract from the fun missions. The campaign feels like the usual action movie experience you expect from any Call of Duty game. I just think that some missions and features are better left on the cutting room floor though. Just be aware that the game does feature some quirks that I've mentioned already. What do you think about the campaign? Do you think it's worth the price, or is it wait till it's on sale kind of thing? Let me know in the comments below. I have a few more of these Call of Duty related videos coming, so make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please make sure to hit that like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell so you don't miss any of the next uploads. And if you have any other comments as to what you want to see on this channel, please make sure to leave that at the comment section down below as well. That being said, thank you so much for watching. See ya!